everybody, it's Tank and Trucker. I'm going to go ahead and do a review of the IS-7, which is another tank I was surprised I've never done a review on. Um, Great tank, I love it, and this thing is just, if you can get haul down in this, which you'll see in the replay, it is a beast. This turret is just 240 millimeters thick, sloped, no weak spots on the turret. I mean, it is just, you get hauled down in this, it's a pain in the ass to pen. Your lower plate here is where they get you if you're, and I think that's mainly where they got a couple pens on me, is that lower plate, and in the side, get hit in the side by a Grill 15, I think it was. So, but anyway, let's do a review of this real quick. So what do you get? You get 2,150 hit points for a tier 10 heavy, which is, it's alright. I mean, it's not like obviously as heavy as the E100, or as many hit points as the E100 or the Moss, but still a pretty good chunk. And with the armor that's on this thing, it's phenomenal. Got great side armor, spaced armor. Rounds hit you in the track area and just disappear. It's got that black hole side. um, for your armor, you have 150 frontal hull armor and 240 frontal turret armor. On the side, you have 150 on the side for the hull, 185 on the side for the turret. And on the rear, you get 100 in the hull and 94 on the turret. So it's really, I mean, this thing is just really well armored. If the camo looks kind of funky, and if you don't understand what this is, it was a special camo I got for being in one of the clan wars just recently. I think it was the third or fourth one. You got a special camo that you got to put on any one of the tanks. You could only put it on one tank, and they gave you this. I have no clue what it even says, but it was a special saying for being in that also. So yeah, IS-7 is I like it. It's one of my favorite tier 10 heavies. Anyway, so let's go over the gun real quick. You get 130 millimeter S70. This thing has got a hell of a boomstick. Not the best pen in the world, but it's all right. 4.38 rounds a minute. Your average penetration for your standard round is 250, and you get APCR for your premium round, which is phenomenal. It bumps you up to 303 pen, 68 for your HE. 490 average damage for your standard and your premium round, and 640 for your HE round. Average damage per minute is 2146. Dispersion is 0.4, and your aim time is 3.1 second. So it's not the most accurate. A couple of the shots that I will be making in the review that you see. I shot under two dead tanks that were lined up one in front of the other, and I shot underneath them, and I hit the 57 heavy. And I shot under another dead tank that was to the left of those, I believe it was. And you'll see I took actually about, I think, 2 or 3 shots trying to do that on the second time, and I kept shooting the ground, and I shot the dead tank, and then finally I was able to shoot underneath and take him out. And that's what he was pretty pissed and sending me messages saying how I shot through dead tanks and stuff. But you'll see I did it fair and square, as usual. But anyways, so my rate of fire is 5.31 seconds. Or excuse me, 5.31 rounds a minute. My reload time is 11.3 seconds. Turret traverse is 27.26, and my hull traverse is 31.83. So, you know, it's not bad, but you can get circle strafe, so you got to watch it. If a pretty fast medium comes around, if they knock your track off, the turret won't keep up with them. You need both your hull and your turret turning at the same time to keep up with one of the faster mediums or scouts, so you don't get circle strafe to death. Gun depression is -6 plus 18, so it's alright. I mean, you're not going to be able to work ridge lines too well, but you can make it work. My aim time is still 2.84 seconds, so not the best in the world, and my dispersion is still 0.37. And that's with Brothers in Arms, Gunland Drive, vertical stabilizers, and vents. You know, so everything that I did on this was, and I've got snapshot, I think. I'm not sure if I got snapshot. I don't think I do. No, I guess I don't. That'll probably have to be one of the next things I work on, is getting snapshot stuff. Anything to help the gun on this on its aim time and keeping that reticle smaller is what you really got to do. My average damage per minute is 2,600 damage per minute. Weight is 69 tons, and so ram the crap out of stuff if you have to. This thing's got wicked armor. You're not going to get hurt too bad unless you ram into a moss. I get a 1,050 horsepower engine, which your specific power to weight is 15.22, which is actually pretty good. You'll get up to that 59.6 kilometers per hour pretty darn quick, and you'll maintain it. But you got to watch out because you're moving almost as fast as a lot of mediums, and you'll end up finding out that you're way ahead of the rest of your team when you look in your mini map, and all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I'm all alone. So you got to watch out. Watch out you don't get there too fast. Concealment's only 8.61, but obviously it's a big heavy, and it's got a big silhouette, so not the best concealment in the world. View range on mine is 437, and my signal range is 785. Pretty stock standard for that, and view range is 437, which for heavy, for this heavy, usually any Russian heavy is blind as a bat, but I think with the vents and Brothers in Arms, it helps that up, over, to 437. Otherwise, if I didn't have those, it'd be closer to probably 405. But anyways, if you want to hold on for a minute, I'll be right back with some great gameplay for you. Alrighty, so we find ourselves on Malinovka. Looking at what we had and what they had quite a few more heavies than us, I believe. They had 2 E100s, 2 E5s, 57 heavy, E75, Conquer. Yeah, we had E100 myself, an E5, M103, Type 4 heavy. I guess it was kind of close. So anyways, my son was playing with me in this match. He was in a 62A that he just got, so he was going to head down that way and kind of stay down by the water because with what they had for heavies, which I agreed with him, he was afraid if he went hill, he was going to have some issues with, a lot of their stuff. Got a nice shot on that E75, knocked 543 off him. And there's a good spot for your T110 E5 on the enemy team right over there. Setting at base, shooting through a window, which he ends up getting knocked out here anyways, and it cracks me up. He just sits there wiggling his turret, going back and forth, just sitting in the window, and got tore up pretty bad. He ends up dying in there through the window there, I think. I know I get a shot on him here in a minute. Ended up knocking his gun out on that shot right there. And you can see him wiggling his turret. It's doing him a whole lot of no good, so I just start shooting HE at him. I knock his track off, which kind of sucked. At distance, this isn't the most accurate tank. If you got, a target that's not too far away, I'd say 200 meters, you can actually put the rounds kind of where you want them, as long as you got a decent crew in this, so it brings your dispersion way down like I do. So I thought, okay, I've wasted enough time down here. I need to get up on that hill and help, our heavies up there before we end up having, all their E100s and their E5s and all their heavies up on that hill, because we were just going to get chewed up if they did. So it looks like we got an E100 going hill. E75, 111, 14, WZ132, which that's obviously a light. He's probably just going up there to spot. Our Type 4 Heavy's going uphill. Our E5's kind of on our PTA heading. They're just sitting over there, and our PTA is getting tore up. Then we got our tank destroyers that kind of stayed down on base, which I wish our M103 would have came up here too, but actually it was kind of good that he stayed down there and he covered my son as he went across that field there. So they're starting to get up here on the hill. I think we would have probably had a bit better of a chance if we would have had more arty support up on this hill. Because I don't know if he was taking shots up here. And then our stuff started backing off. So here's one shot. I'll even slow it down. Let's see. Okay, this is on the Conquer gun, or the what's it? Conquer gun carriage. That was on their Conquer. That first shot missed. Oops, trying to get it back at the standard, man. So I'd end up coming over here a little bit higher, and as you can see, like I said, put it right in that lower plate. You know, if you give them that lower plate like that, you know, you're gonna get, that's where everybody shoots, obviously. But in order to get a shot on him, I had to come up over there until, oh, let me see here. Try and speed it up a little bit here so it's not going too slow. Okay, I got it going back at red. So we got, if you look right here in a second, I'll play it at regular speed here for a minute. Let's see. Once I go to the outside. Okay, if you look right over here, see those two tanks, one right in front of the other? And you'll see once I get up there and I take the shots, how I got beautiful shots right underneath those two dead tanks. So, alright, so you'll see, here comes one of the shots. Got a beautiful shot underneath those tanks, and this is where he said I was shooting through dead tanks at him. But I'll slow it down nice and slow. So, Angel Flyer there in this 57 Heavy can see how I did not cheat and did not shoot through dead tanks. That I see somebody hit him right there, but that was over from the left. Here, I shoot actually underneath the dead tanks. Let's get speed up a little more. Boom, underneath that dead tank. You saw that beautifully, just squeezed right under there, but he said I shot through dead tanks. So obviously he doesn't know what he's talking about. So that was the first time I shot him under the dead tank, that he said I shot through a dead tank. But of course, you know, I like to prove people wrong when they send me messages and accuse me of doing stuff like that. See, you know, you got this thing hauled down. I was surprised that shot. I completely just should have waited a little bit longer to get an aim in on that commander's hatch, but probably, I don't know if it would have penned anyways. Nice shot in the lower plate of that E-100. He gets knocked out, and I think that's the other dead tank I shoot the 57 Heavy under when I kill him, was the dead E-100. And then I was shooting him in the side. He was just sitting there, so I was nice enough to give him a shot in the side of his turret. Surprised he didn't say I was shooting heat-seeking missiles at him or something. I was really surprised that that shot didn't pen the cheek of the T1NTE-5. I mean, I know it's got a pretty strong turret, but that was a premium round. Yeah, this just, you don't have, you know, in order to get some of the shots on here, you got to take some risks, and I couldn't believe that shot didn't pen the commander's hatch there. That was right on. So 57 Heavy hit me, and E5 hit me there, so I'm unfortunately losing hit points that I don't need to be losing like that. So I hit the E100 in the side plate, and okay, so here's, I think, another shot where I hit the 57 Heavy. No, I don't think yet. I might. I'm not sure. Let's look. I think actually, I think one or two shots before it actually goes under. Yeah, see, that one I missed. I tried to shoot underneath it, and I missed, and it hit the undercarriage of the dead E100. Try and zoom it in here. See, I got a beautiful view of them. See, I shot the dirt there. So it wasn't like I was going right through every time, and I mean, it took a couple shots before I actually hit them here. I think this is the one where I actually hit him under the dead E100. But you can see I got a beautiful shot at his lower plate underneath that E100. Actually, I think I might miss this one too. Nope, he pulls forward. That's what it was. But fully shrunk in. Got a beautiful view of his undercarriage there. So, bye-bye. And that's where he said I was cheating, shooting through dead tanks. Well, that looks like it was pretty well underneath both those tanks to me. So after this replay, I got to go ahead and send him a message. So I told him I'd let him know it was on here. So, you know, I offered to send him the replay, and he said no, and he didn't give a shit. But then he kept sending me messages how I was cheating. So, like to show him, you know, just prove to him that there was no cheating going on. Kind of sucked because we were kind of even Steven on the teams here. I thought, you know, we were actually going to be able to pull this off, but unfortunately, our Waffle PC4 made several mistakes at the end of the match there. And you'll see he just really screws up. He was getting shot in the ass and just sat there and kept taking round after round in his pooper. Then he ends up, I think, getting hit by artillery. Yeah, he just had a miserable... I think he must have just choked because he had looked like a really good game, and then at the very end just totally choked. So now basically I've got a Grill 15 behind me, and everything else is pretty much kind of in the tree line, and our T110E5 is going down by artillery, I guess. I have no clue why. So this is where I go to... I hit the T110E5, and I thought, cool, gonna take him out, and then our artillery hits me and knocks me out and knocks out the E5. But he said he was sorry, and I said, hey, you know, it happens. And it does. I mean, I was kind of a little upset because I was thinking, I've got the E5 pretty much handled. He's not gonna pen me if I'm face hugging him like this. It just ain't gonna happen. And I figured, you know, I just shot him, hit him into one shot. If anything, I could keep pushing him and push him right off the edge of that. Hopefully, he'd end up going over the side and dying there. Or I would be able to, you know, put a round in in between the turret and the hull. It's got that ring right there. You can pen there, or put a round through the commander's hatch, or back up real quick, you know, after he bounces a shot and see if I could pen his undercarriage. So... if anything, what the artillery should have done is shot at that Grill 15 that was up here on the hill. But instead, I don't know if he was trying to be greedy or trying to help me out, but he ended up knocking me out. So, didn't help me out at all. But, like I said, no problem. It happens. Just a game. Kind of sucks because if he wouldn't have hit me, could have got rid of that E5 probably. I still would have been in the match. And, you know, these... IS-7s are so resilient and can take, you know, hit after hit in the turret. There's a good chance that I might have been able to maybe take that Grill 15 out, kept stuff lit on the hill for him, and then he could have worked on that. But, yeah, you know, hindsight's 2020. What are you gonna do? Anyways, let's go ahead and speed this up. Get towards the end here. So here's our Waffle PZ4. He had a good game, like I said, till the very end. I was surprised 3805 had the small gun on there, too. That's the small gun that he's got on there, but I think it's just the E5 and myself were so low on hit points that all he had to do was splash near us, and he took us out. So he ended up taking out that Grill 15. And they start capping us. And this is where he kind of chokes. He did pretty good. He got rid of the E75. Well, he hit him, I think, and E75 really messed up by shooting HE at him. So the Waffle PZ4 takes him out. This is kind of where he chokes. If anything, he should have stayed to the right side there, because T54 was up there, and he starts putting round after round in his butt when he gets lit by the T30. T30 plugs him for a lot of his health right there. So he's lit, and you see the round sitting him in the butt from the T54 now. Now, instead of backing up like he should and got down in that groove, he just stayed up there and just kept getting hit by the T54. know if the 54 hits them or takes them out, or artillery, or the 7 takes them out here in a second. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to see if that was a T-30 or not, but yeah, that was pretty much it. All we got left is, that was weird, artillery, and all they got left is 54. All he had to do was splash near that 54, and he could have had them. And you'll see there already shoots here in a minute. Misses behind ours. See, and what he should have done instead of shooting is waited until the 54 came up. So he rams them and they both die. So anyways, the 212A was the hero of the day for the enemy team on that match. But there was 2 minutes left in the match. So it was a good match. I really like the IS-7. It is a beast of a tank. And as you can see, if you can get hauled down, you're awesome. It's awesome. There's nothing's going to pen that turret. I mean, they can start slinging HE at you and whittling off, 30, 60, 100 hit points at a time. Or like when I made the mistake I made when I came up to shoot at that Conqueror is that, once they have that lower plate, yeah, they can pen through that pretty easy. It's pretty thick, but not thick enough to stop even a lot of standard rounds on tier 10s that are, because the Conqueror's got like a 259 penetrating standard rounds. So, yeah, it's going to go through that pretty easy. And as you can see, I obviously was not shooting through dead tanks. So I hope that Angel Flyer from the Clan Texas there is happy that I showed him that I did the review here and did this replay specifically to show him that I wasn't cheating. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did like it, please hit the like button down below and subscribe to the channel. You guys take it easy, be safe, and I will see you on the battlefield. So here's the results of that match. It was a Mastery Badge Class 1, Fire for Effect, and I got a Confederate on that match. Bounced a bunch of rounds. Bounced one from the E100, 2 from the E5, 1 from the 57 Heavy, 2 from the Grill 15. That was a perfect spot for the IS-7 because you're hauled down, you're not given that undercarriage, for people to shoot at, because that's your real bad weak spot, is when they get shots at your frontal lower hull. It's still pretty thick, still kind of hard to pen, but most of the time people are shooting a lot of premiums when they see an IS-7 because they're so hard to go through. So I tried keeping that hidden. Did it pretty good for the most part. I did a decent amount of damage here, but the E100 for 499, T110E5 for 469. This other T110E5 for, if I can get the show, let's see, wow, 235. That was a low roll. That was a really low roll. My God, I don't think I've ever shot something and got such a low roll. I wonder if that might have been the one. Nope, I shot him with an HE. That's right. He was one that was in the building that was wiggling his turret like he was having an epileptic seizure. And somehow destroyed his track when I shot him in the turret with that HE round. The guy shot this Angel Flyer in the T-57 Heavy 3 times, and I shot him under dead tanks. He's the one he's messaging me here because he's mad that I shot him. He says I was cheating, so... he says, love that shot through a tank. Wish I could do that. Well, you can because you shoot under the tank like I did. I shot under 2 dead tanks the first time, and I actually shot under another dead tank the third time that I hit him. And so he's crying about that. You can see all these messages to him. But I'm not making this about him. But I told him I'm making this video, and I'll let him know. Yes, he says, I told him, I said, I shot under dead tanks, I'm making a video, and I'll let him know after the fact so he can watch it. And he said, sure it was. It was bullshit from where you were. He says somehow I shot through a dead tank. But you'll see or as you saw in the replay, I shot under the dead tanks. But whatever, enjoy that loss. We did lose, but it was nice, because I killed him, and that makes it all the better when you piss somebody off like that. I mean, this is just another whine ass. I'm just getting sick and tired of them. Bunch of crybabies. You kill them fair and square, and they say you cheat. That I was shooting through a dead tank. Yeah, I'd like to see that happen. But I hit the grill 15 for 476 and knocked out his commander. Hit the Conqueror for 530. E-75 hit him in the beginning there, and when they were taking off from base for 543, and knocked out his engine. So that's always nice to knock out their engines right off the bat like that, because they got to use the repair kit. Came in third highest in damage with 4,053. I ended up getting knocked out by our own artillery. I didn't have a whole lot of health left, and he was trying to knock out the T-110E5 that I was about to take out, and, well, he hit me. I wonder if he got a bombardier for killing me and him. No, actually, I know he didn't. But, yeah, he killed me and the E5 at the same time when he hit both of us, which kind of sucked, because I think I would have been able to take that E5 out. Where he was, I was just going to keep pushing against him. There's no way he would have penned me up close and personal like that. And I would have been able to either pen his commander's hatch or backed up real quick and got a shot in his lower plate or something. But, well, I guess I'll never know. Anyways, so I got one kill, which was the 57 Heavy that's crying right now and still sending me messages. And got a win 8 of, or excuse me, a experience of 673 XP for that. 20 shots, 16 hits, 9 pen, 4,053 damage, 778 from a distance of more than 300 meters. Got hit 10 times, 4 pen me, 6 bounce, and got hit, splashed a few times by artillery. Damage blocked by armor was 3,450. Damage 7 destroyed 1, and damage caused with my assistance was 3,283. Made 72,031 credits, and I got, for Courageous Resistance, it's a bonus they give you for really trying when your team's losing really bad. And so I got an extra 7,091 credits there. Got compensation because of getting hit by my friendly there that ended up destroying me. So I got 79,575 credits, but after they fixed the tank, resupplied the ammo, which I shot pretty much just about all my rounds, ended up, it was only in the hole for 7,497, so not too bad considering. So, anyways, just another person that's upset when they get killed in World of Tanks that sends me messages because I'm better than them and they get pissed. So, it's not too hard to shoot under a dead tank. Anybody can do it, especially when you see his lower plate like that, as you saw in the replay. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You guys take it easy, be safe, and I'll see you on the battlefield.